Yeah, man, that hair on the left looks terrible. It looks awful, bro.
Oh, right here, this one.
Yeah, the straight hair looks good, bro. The hair on the left looks like it smells, and it probably has like it's crunchy and like, sticky and stinky.
Why do you say that? The thing is, people try to be racist and say, "Oh, black people, we were just monkeys and we didn't know anything. We lived in mud houses." But we civilizations. There's tons of civilizations that Europeans actually purposely flooded. They're underwater today. It's documented. These are towns and cities that black people already created. But you guys came over here, unalive millions of people, and then you try to dumb us down and say black people are stupid. That is not true.
Yay! Absolutely. Yo, what's good, y'all? I am back with another one. It's your boy, Luch the God, and the content I have from you, or I have for you today, is from a dude named Trey on YouTube. Trey's YouTube page is Stop Playing Trey Clips, right? I'll put all his information in the description below. But what Trey does is he interviews black women predominantly, or black people predominantly, and he talks about black hair. He talks about, addressing what are the beautiful aspects to black people, and then slowly starts to dig into why black women don't like their own hair. And I loved watching this guy's clips because it's a really good deep dive on how black women love themselves and love their hair. But then when he get into digging into why are they damaging it and making themselves look like other women's hair, then they normally have a visceral reaction to his his feedback on that. But today, I want to cover this clip that he put out of what I believe to be a white gentleman portraying himself as a black person to then argue these stupid points on why he believes that black people are violent. And the reason why I chose this content was because as I'm listening to it, nobody was doing any fact checking. So he feels that he was allowed to say a lot of bullshit. I'm not gonna let it run. I'm gonna do what we normally do. Let's go.
All right, what is your disagreement?
Yeah, man, that hair on the left looks terrible. It looks awful, bro.
Oh, right here, this one.
He's talking about, the braids.
Yeah, the straight hair looks good, bro. The hair on the left looks like it smells, and it probably has like it's crunchy and like, sticky and stinky.
Why do you say that?
I mean, cause braids stink.
Oh, so
It looks like it smells, bro.
So you're just saying the hairstyle, like even if that hairstyle was on a black woman, you think braids should stink in general?
I guess, yeah, and most people that have hair like that are like really loud and obnoxious and like don't pay taxes and use food stamps and like don't take care of their kids and commit a lot of crimes and just smell bad.
No.
So, first off, all my fellow black people, we know this man is not a black man. Because one, braids do stink only if it's not taken care of or if it's sitting under a wig, right? If it's sitting under some hair for a long time and not being taken care of, then yes, it will stink.
I wouldn't agree with that. I mean, there's many people that have braids that are civilized, nice people. I think that's definitely.
The fact that he made a hair statement going to not pay taxes or take care of their kids, like, this is racist 101.
A stretch.
I don't know about that, man. I can't think of the last time that I got into like a public place and it was like full of people that looked like that, and I was like, oh wow, I can't wait to be here for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I really just don't get how a lot of white people talk about the things black people do, but white people are.
I'm African American, bro.
Oh, so
I'm
you're
African American, bro.
So okay,
Lie.
so what are some stereotypes that you have about white people too?
They just more likely to pay their taxes and more likely to.
They're more likely to pay their taxes. So we know that this is not a black dude.
Not leave their kids, more likely to contribute to society and not live off of food stamps. They're more likely to.
Hey, chat. What race is the largest, has the largest benefits when it comes to SNAP?
When it comes to SNAP benefits, the largest group of recipients tends to be just families who are white, followed by the distribution can vary by region. Overall, the largest percentage of SNAP recipients in the U.S. It's also important to note that there's diverse range of people across.
So, in case you did not hear that, white people are the largest recipients of the SNAP benefits. All right.
More violent, white people or black people?
Oh, come on, black people. You can't
Okay,
disagree with that. Come on.
so out of all the
Another statistic that most white people get incorrect. Who are the most violent people? Whites or blacks? Now, what the whites will do is when they hear you say whites, they think of themselves and the people in their immediate circle, and they say, we're not violent, so all the whites aren't violent. They don't associate themselves as the white military men that fight for our country. They don't consider themselves the white people that fight for the every other European country. They're not. They don't consider themselves as the white settlers that came from Europe and pillaged the whole damn Native Americans on this on this continent. Like, they don't associate themselves with them, so that's why it's hard for them to understand who's more violent.
time, right? Black people have been on the planet and white people have been on the planet. You're saying black people are more violent than white people.
So if you're talking about all the time they've been on the planet, then absolutely, because humans came from Africa. So
Okay, now he's trying to take the humans, hue, which means color, and the man, which means color man. He's trying to say that because all humans came from Africa, that means all Africans are violent. But look at the mind game that he's playing. The blacks were more violent. He didn't associate himself with that, even though all people come from Africa, right? All humans come from Africa. He didn't associate himself with that, with the more violent blacks. He disassociated and said, no, the whites are more of this, the whites are more of that. But now when he asks the same thing, he's saying, oh, because we all come from Africa, now we're all violent. Incorrect.
violence
Incorrect.
originated from Africa. So yes, black
That's
people have been
no.
violent for a longer period of time.
That point doesn't
You just
even.
said all the time that people
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
on the
yeah,
earth.
yeah. I
Then why
understand
would you
that,
say that?
but that
Clarify
doesn't
your
make any sense because
question, man.
hold on. Before
That's what you asked.
hold on, sir. Let me finish. Before white people, or I'm not even going to say white people, I'm going to say Europeans started colonizing everywhere. Black people were not trying to go to every single continent and literally unalive tens of millions of people. But you
Absolutely.
see, it is documented in history that Europeans, it's even happening to this day. Venezuela, you can look at the Middle East.
Absolutely.
Europeans are literally trying to go around the earth and unalive innocent people to this day.
Absolutely.
So there's no way in the world you can say that black people are more violent than Europeans. That is
Absolutely. Absolutely. From when they stepped here on this continent, when they got to Venezuela, when they got to the Middle East, no matter where white people go, right? No matter where they go, there is war, there's innocent people dying. There's nowhere you can go where Africans are killing people and trying to take their land. Somebody may say, well, they do that in Africa. Well, that's one, not at the level at which white people do it. And two, yeah, people fight for land and have been fighting for land since the beginning of time. But when we conquer a land, we don't kill the innocent out of nowhere. It's not like it's the way in which Africans done war and the way in which Europeans have done war is two different systems of war. Right? Let's continue.
is false.
Because Trey's killing them. Get him, Trey.
Wait, isn't it like 13% of
Yeah.
the population and like 50% of violent crime? Like how are you not seeing that correlate to like what are you even talking about?
Then he brings up this dumbass point of how, and I hate when people use this example. They're 13% of the population. How are you committing 50% of the violent crime? Because, one, anytime you have an oppressed people, you're always going to find crime. crime isn't going to be, you're not going to find the most crime where there's a lot of wealth and there's a lot of things to lose and there's, prosperous things going on. You're not going to find a lot of violent crime. Now, when you see people starving, fighting for resources, then you start to see a lot of crime. So let's not pretend that if there was like a rich black neighborhood, that this rich black neighborhood would be subsequently more violent than a rich white neighborhood. No, both neighborhoods wouldn't be violent, maybe whatsoever. But if you have a poor white neighborhood and a poor black neighborhood, I would go with whichever one is being oppressed the most. You may find more violence. That's just how it goes. That's just how violence works. Isn't that what happened? And here's the crazy part. When Europeans took over America, they weren't under no resource. They weren't poor. These people weren't lack of resources. They still went over and took other people's land just because they wanted more. Totally different. Totally different. We're not the same.
Like,
So
obviously, 13% of the population, 50% of violent crime. Yes, they're more violent. Like, what are you talking about?
no, they're not though, because if we who's in the Middle East right now unaliving innocent people?
And they will never ever count those people as violent.
Is that black people or white people?
Black and white people.
No.
Rel said black and white people. See, he couldn't be black.
It's racist Europeans.
The blacks don't
running
lie
the country?
like
Is
that.
it black people or white people?
But
It's-
okay,
it's-
hold on.
No,
I think I'm misinterpreting. I think I'm misinterpreting.
hold on. The
See, now he
racist
wants to
Europeans
he wants
are
to
running our
read
country.
he wants to redo the question. He wants to redo a question into that way it fits his narrative.
They created this military so they could go around the planet Earth and literally unalive innocent people. And you're saying black
Absolutely.
people are more violent than white people. That is false.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I was confused. I thought you were arguing about like inside, because I live in the United States.
Yeah,
So I was talking about in the United States.
We hear it.
Yeah.
No,
so
no.
if you're talking about outside the United States, then maybe, but
Well, I clearly said if we go back in history, in all time, who's the most violent people? And you
yeah,
just-
I don't really care what's
Yeah.
going on in Pakistan, though, man. I'm not gonna lie.
See? Now he's going to, I don't care what's going on in Pakistan. That wasn't the question. The question was, who are the most violent people? Whites or blacks? Now you're talking about, I don't care what's going on in Pakistan. Of course you don't. You're white.
I care about what's going on.
It
in the
doesn't matter
US. I
what
don't
you care
if they
about. I'm just
well
saying.
off.
Right.
I'm saying who's the most violent people, and it's clearly the European. Like, can you at least agree with
Absolutely.
Uh,
Look. Remember, he's still faking to be black. So the fact that he can't even just pin the tail on the donkey is insane.
okay, I think what you're referring to is violent within
Can you agree with
the
that?
ability to be violent.
that? No, but can you agree with that? The most violent people are Europeans.
They would have to be, because they're able to act
Now
out
they
more
would have
violence
to
with
be.
the military equipment that they have.
So
If
that's a
black
yes.
people had the same amount of military equipment.
No,
they would be more violent.
no, that's not true. Because black people have had technology for before white
Black
people were
have
even.
had nuclear weapons, man.
Nuclear weapons, right? Actually, let's make sure. To my assumption, I believe that a nuclear weapon was made by a Jewish man, a Jewish American, a Zionist American. But let me just make sure.
How can I help you today?
Hey, chat. So, who created the nuclear bomb, and what was their religion or race? That one. There we go. So Robert Oppenheimer is the one who created the nuclear bomb. He's a Jewish American. This would be the same white person who delineates himself from the Jewish people, because Jewish people use white as a cloak, but they don't identify with the white people. But they're clearly white people just doing white people stuff, right?
Black people weren't trying to
don't think
invent.
they had-
Hold on. Black people were not trying to invent nuclear weapons and literally
Absolutely.
unalive
They were
people.
trying to survive in
We
dirt houses,
we
bro.
were
See, now he said we're trying to survive. This is World War II we're talking about. And he said we were trying to survive. No, you were trying to exterminate. You were trying to win, and win indefinitely. That's what you were trying to do.
we were more focused on building things like pyramids, right?
Facts.
We were more
And we went to war, but we fought with our hands. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna fight to take a life, you take life with your hands, or you take it with a knife, or you take it with a weapon. You don't take it with a weapon that you can shoot from 1,000 feet away. That's some pussy shit. That's some pussy stuff.
Focused on
Yeah,
building
and
civilized.
that's exactly why you guys got wiped out, man.
Hold
What's
on.
the pyramid gonna do
Look,
against?
look at that. Now that's why you guys got wiped out. What are you talking about? What are you two wiped out by who? You guys took slaves. You guys didn't wipe nobody out. What are you talking about?
Hold on. But that's what I'm saying. The premise is who's the most violent people. Europeans are way more violent than any people on this earth. So you guys
Absolutely.
are focused on unaliving people and creating nukes and stuff. Nobody else cares about that. The reason why black people are even in the condition that they are today is because of racist Europeans.
Absolutely.
But I'm not saying that gives them a
Violent
pass to
referring
do
to
what
us
they
in
do.
the
Europeans
US?
at that.
Yes. As one
Okay.
of the
So
places.
So then, if black people are so nonviolent, then why even when they're removed from all these things you're talking about, does the violence still continue?
Now, black people, when have we ever been removed from the things he's talking? We've never been removed from anything besides partially out of Africa, but we have black people still here in this country. So what are you talking about?
No,
If you go into an all-black community, it is far more violent than any other part of any other community around it.
No.
So if
No,
you
no, no.
separate all the white, I get what you're saying. If you separate all the threat, then why is it still more violent than anywhere else?
No, I never said that black people were non-violent. I know that's not true. There's black on black crime and all this
Well,
other
that's
stuff.
violent.
Yes.
Yeah, but black on black, you should never give him that, Trey. Black on black crime is as dumb as saying white on white crime. White people kill white people at the highest numbers. Black people kill black people at the highest numbers. I would believe Mexicans kill Mexicans at the highest numbers. Like black on black crime is such a placebo word because all races are most likely murdered by their own race and by the largest numbers. No, there's no other race besides. I would even argue that maybe my argument would be that I believe that more whites have killed Palestinians than Palestinians have killed Palestinians. And I would lay that down. I'd lay that down. I believe that to be accurate.
So there's black people are violent, right? But I'm saying if we had to wage of who's more violent out of all time, it's the European. That's what I'm saying. That's a fact.
Yeah, but that's only. I mean,
What?
so what? I mean, what is?
Nah.
I don't really
Wait,
get what
I
your
thought,
See, now it's so what? Like what?
point.
I thought you
It's
said
really
you were
kidding.
black though. Why are you defending the European?
Gotcha, bitch.
Bro, because I live in the U.S. and it's run by white people and it's great. And if it
He says, I thought you were black. Why are you defending white people? And he said,
Bro, because I live in the U.S. and it's
Because he
run by
lives
white
in the
people and it's
US.
great. And if it was run by black people, I'd be living in a dirt house and we would have been invaded and blown up. So I'd rather live in a place with white people.
here's why that's stupid. He just bragged about them having nukes. Now, if you're the people with the nukes, who are most likely to blow you up in your dirt home? Let's be like I said, it's just this is what they do, y'all. This is what they do.
People with nukes than be blown up in a dirt house. So
Blown up
yes,
in a
so
dirt
why does
house.
it matter, bro? Why do you care so much?
So it would actually be better if we lived in dirt houses.
Bro, I don't want to get bro.
But
You know it, bro.
but do you
Bro,
not
what are
understand
you
that?
talking
Hold on,
about?
hold on,
Living
hold
in a dirt house and dying of Ebola, bro.
Hold on. Okay, so this is all racist rhetoric because before the European came into contact with the black indigenous people of America, number one, Europeans are the immigrants of this country. Black people, we were
Absolutely.
here first. You guys came over here and brought your diseases, including Ebola. Ebola is something that
Hey, well, if the black people washed their hands,
hold on,
it wouldn't
wait,
have
let me
spread.
finish.
If
Let
they
me
didn't live
finish.
in dirt houses, they took a shower.
No. Let me finish. You guys create these diseases in labs purposely. Even the one
What
that
do you
just
mean I create these diseases? I'm black.
hold on. No, I say you guys because your skin might be black, but since your ideology is with the European, then you're also one of them. You're not one of us.
Oh, my God.
So what I'm saying is,
All right, I'm not one of you.
hold on. So what I'm
Yeah, he's not.
saying is, people try to be racist and say, "Oh, black people, we were just monkeys and we didn't know anything. We lived in mud houses." But we civilizations. There's tons of civilizations that
You literally said it'd be
hold on,
better to
hold on,
live in a
hold on,
dirt
hold
house.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. There's tons of civilizations that Europeans actually purposely flooded. They're underwater today. It's documented. These are towns and cities that black people already created. But you guys came over here, unalive millions of people, and then you try to dumb us down and say black people are stupid. That is not
Right.
true.
Absolutely.
Well, I never said black people are stupid. That's
No,
a-
that's what you're
a
saying.
absurd claim to make.
No, you're literally saying that. You're saying we lived in mud houses. By you, look, we've been on this planet.
No, that's lack of
no,
intelligence.
no,
That's
no,
not
no,
being
no.
stupid.
We've
That's just
been
not being educated
we've
in
been
germ
on
theory.
this planet since the beginning of time. The
Absolutely.
European is fairly new to the planet Earth. So for you to
Absolutely.
say that we lived in mud houses and we didn't know how to create civilizations,
Wait, what do you mean the Europeans are new to planet Earth? They've been around. What are you talking about?
how long have they been on the planet?
Get him.
I don't know why you're acting like they just spawned in. They still came from Africa.
See, he don't know, Trey.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they didn't originate in Africa.
All humans originated from Africa.
The
They came-
See how he's trying to. He got it confused. I mean, he's somewhat right. All humans, all people all men of color come from Africa, right? That's why the sun feeds us. I mean, I don't know the science behind it, but the sun gets absorbed in our skin with our melanin, and we're able to survive. And not only survive, but thrive and flourish with the amount of sun in Africa. The Neanderthals or the Europeans of those days could not survive in that type of climate with the sun like that. They would have went extinct because that is not their terrain.
out of Africa and spread out. So
black,
they came from Africa.
the black man, the black
Yeah.
woman originated in Africa.
Absolutely.
Buddy, please tell me you're aware of evolution, and please tell me you don't think
Okay,
that Europeans just spawned in Europe. They came from Africa. What are you talking
No,
about?
but they didn't. They didn't originate there. It took time.
What do you mean? No, it didn't.
It took time for you guys to evolve. So you guys didn't originally.
Okay, but why are you
bro,
acting like Europeans are like a new update?
bro?
You
You
are.
guys are the newest
They came
update.
from
Hold
Africa,
on.
too.
Can you explain
Bro,
why
what
you?
the?
Can you explain why black people have no Neanderthal DNA, but Europeans have shared like 98% of their DNA with like chimpanzees and Neanderthals? Can you explain that? If you guys are the original, just like us.
Wait. You just wait. Hold on.
It's a fact.
Yes, it's a fact that Africans and Neanderthals are not the same species of human, right? Those are not the same species of humans. Because even if you really think about it, like I think the Neanderthals evolved into the modern Homo sapien European like 50,000 years ago, right? And the earliest traces was about 500,000 years ago. We have bones that we found in Africa, like those Lucy bones. Those are doctored to be like 7 million. I don't know 7 million, but those are millions or high hundreds of thousands of years old. Totally different species, brother. Snap.
Go ahead, look it
Hold
up.
on. Let me check. Hold on. 1 second.
Yes. You
It
guys.
says Europeans do have. It says Europeans do have Neanderthal DNA.
Correct.
Most modern Europeans have about 1 to 2% Neanderthal
Yeah,
DNA.
98 is
that
crazy.
Not correct. That is a
okay,
lie.
but that is not a lie.
Why'd you say that?
So you're looking at a.
What do you mean? Okay,
hold on,
but
hold on.
I just asked
Yeah,
ChatGPT, bro.
ChatGPT.
Trey just made an honest mistake. He said 98%. I think he's being facetious, but yeah, it's definitely about 2%. 2% sounds about right.
It's not going to tell you everything. Yo,
You think you're
Chat,
smarter than
no,
ChatGPT, bro?
ChatGPT is literally biased. It's literally.
ChatGPT is biased, absolutely. Sometimes, like I said, you have to learn how to cipher through ChatGPT. If you're a person who's easily just like ChatGPT is 100% right, you're an idiot. It's not 100% right. But you have to learn how to take the information you get from Chat GPT and either make a synopsis based on the information it gives you, or you may have to go into the sources and ask the chat where you got your sources from, just so that you can make sure that whatever you're getting from Chat GPT is sourced correctly or from a proper source.
Really biased. You guys share Neanderthal.
Yes. No,
Okay,
Trey
so
said-
explain why a lot of Europeans are born with tails and they have to cut them off. Explain that.
I didn't ever heard about that. We gotta look that up. Let's look that up.
Hey there, how's it going?
What's good, chat? Real quick, are Europeans born with tails?
No, humans, regardless of their background, are not born with tails. While humans do have a small tail, the coccyx, it's a ring. Our ancestors, occasionally very rare congenital conditions cause a small tail-like appendage. These are extremely uncommon, usually removed surgically. More of a fascinating quirk of human anatomy. I'm a Trey.
Is that popular in African natives?
The occurrence of a congenital condition like a small tail or tail-like is just extremely rare. Specific to any particular region, these conditions can occur in people from any. They're not specific ancestry, isn't it? More about random genetic mutations.
All right, chat is basically saying that it's not tied to any ethnicity and that it just spawns randomly throughout humans. It's just a genetic misnomer.
What the hell did you just
No,
say,
because
bro?
you said that the European originated in Africa too, and you guys are the same as us. And I'm not saying this to say that you guys are less than or anything like that. I understand you said you're black, but I don't believe you.
Right.
But
Bro, look at my profile picture. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? I got an afro, bro.
that's
I got more curls than
Sir.
you, bro.
That is so white. What? Look at my profile pic. I have an afro. I'm telling you, man, white people, brother. These some, and it's not obviously not all white people. Because I got some genius white friends. But this is not it. This guy right here, it's not him. Not him.
Look at my hair, bro.
Sir.
at my hair,
Anybody could put
Look at my afro,
anything
bro.
on,
Kick
on their
rocks.
profile picture.
Kick
So I
rocks,
don't
man.
know. If you come
Kick
on camera,
rocks, man.
I will believe you. If you turn on your camera, I believe you for sure.
I
you got the
already
white
did.
man laugh. You got slave master
Okay,
laugh.
Bro, what are we even talking about anymore?
Talking about
cares
anymore,
about
dude?
1 to 2% Neanderthal
What
DNA
talking about,
tails
dude?
and Europeans.
Okay, but we don't have that though. That's what I'm saying. We don't have that. So you guys were genetically
You
modified.
still have a tailbone, bro.
No,
You
but we
still
don't
have a
grow tails.
tailbone.
You guys were genetically modified. You guys, just like the food in the
Buddy,
stores,
what
the
the hell are you
genetically
talking
modified
about?
food. You guys were genetically
Yeah, Trey
modified.
is
You guys
funny.
are not the original human. But so the
Kid
reason
called
why
it
I'm
a
saying this
GMO.
is because you tried to come in here and downplay black people, like we just lived in mud huts and we're monkeys and all this other stuff. But really, we're the original being of the planet Earth. This is why I get so mad when black women try to be like the European, because we are the original, and then you see my women trying to be like your
Okay,
women. Don't
listen,
make any
man.
sense.
The
Facts.
issue here is that just because something's first doesn't mean it's better. If people still kept living like you're
No, see, just because something is first doesn't mean it's but no, but something is first, they're more authentic. They're the what we call the original. The original. Man.
asking them to, like
Yeah.
living in dirt houses, chlamydia would still exist and not be curable. AIDS, Ebola, syphilis,
Do you-
hepatitis. all
do
these
you know
diseases
a
would
lot of
still
these were
exist
made
if
in
you kept
labs?
living in dirt houses.
Sir, these diseases don't just jump out of nowhere and say, "Hey, I'm here." A lot of these
You
were
think-
designed in
You
labs.
think chlamydia came from a lab?
The AIDS definitely
Bro.
did.
I also do believe AIDS was made in a lab. Let's ask chat. What's up, chat? Was either AIDS or chlamydia created in a lab?
In general,
And this is what I mean when I say you got to be careful when using chat, because I don't believe that these were zootonic spillovers. Like, we existed with monkeys for years. So the fact that they're trying to insinuate that this is coming from a primate, essentially, and then to say that It's a natural zootonic spillover. I'm not buying it, and that's why you gotta be careful when using chat.
I haven't done my research on that one, but the AIDS, yes, for a fact, came from a lab.
Okay. So all the black people in their bones that we can find, and they died of things like syphilis and all these diseases. It's because they had a dirt hut laboratory where they concocted a
Did syphilis originate in Africa? If not, where did that originate?
Syphilis is believed to have originated in most widely accepted theory is that syphilis was brought to Europe by Europeans returning from Columbus's voyages, late 15th century.
So syphilis came from the Europeans when they voyaged over with Christopher Columbus, sir. So yeah, syphilis did not come from the early settlers in Africa. Those came from Europeans.
disease and spread it amongst Africa. What are you talking about, man?
Sir, so you gotta be on my level, like with the brain capacity.
Your level.
I'm not saying that. I'm not
incompetent,
sir. I'm not saying that we created the diseases and gave it to ourselves. I'm saying that the Europeans created the diseases and then gave it to our people.
Then explain the black people dying of those diseases before the Europeans existed. That makes no damn sense at all.
So AIDS, they were dying before that. They were dying because of that.
Absolutely. You can literally look at fossils and remains and find out why they died, and there are numerous diseases that you would claim white people made. That makes no sense, bro.
Okay, so let me look it up. AIDS was first publicly recognized June 1981.
Buddy, publicly recognized because we didn't have the scientific method to recognize any diseases before then.
Right.
They still existed. Just because you that's like saying gravity didn't.
Damn, Trey. Yeah, you quartered yourself on that one. Because all you had to say was that at the end of the day that it did not originate in Africa. If it came out in the 1980s, that's some new age factory made shit. Like I said, if you ask chat, they'll say it's a zootonic spillover, aka some animal had it and now the humans can now are now susceptible of catching it. I don't believe that bullshit, but syphilis is what you meant to stay on, and syphilis came over from Europe.
Exist before we discovered it. What are you even talking about, man?
All right, buddy.
Malaria, tuberculosis, parasitic infections, these are all the most common diseases and sicknesses African.
And what this white man won't say is that Ebola, right? They said that's what they also claim to be a zootonic spillover, where they say fruit bats, it came out of fruit bats and whatever, and that people were eating bush meat, which means animal meat, and then that's where that infection and bacteria came from. But in Europe, they didn't have fruit bats, but they did have a disease called Marburg, and that was their version of Ebola, because that also came from bush meat and these nasty diseased animals that they were eating over there as well. Just that they didn't have fruit bats, and that's why they didn't catch the specific Ebola strain. But they had their own Marburg disease before we had Ebola, because they used the Marburg symptoms to identify that when they got to Africa, that was actually called Ebola. Look it up.
Died from. I don't think Europeans made these.
All right, buddy.
And they died from these things well before Europeans.
Okay. So what about the pandemic that happened a couple years ago? What about that one?
You see, if you ask chat, matter of fact, we're gonna ask chat, and if chat calls it a zootonic spillover, we know that chat has been biased. Was COVID also a zootonic spillover?
Yes, COVID-19, caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, is generally understood to have originated from a zoonotic spillover as well.
Exactly. That's why you can't trust. That's why you can't trust chat. Chat will call COVID a zootonic spillover because chat is also biased. Anybody with damn sense who lived through it all know that yes, this was a chemically made disease made in the lab, signed off in China, but had people in America in on it. This was a government given disease. Boom, that's just what it is.
Bro, now you're just pulling things out of your hat. What are you talking about?
The one that we just went through in 2019. I don't want to say it because they don't like me saying it. But what about that one? Do you think
they don't like you saying it?
Yeah. Do you think that one was created or not?
That would be China, man. That wouldn't even be the Europeans.
Okay, but do you think
So
it
why are
was
you complaining?
created or not?
Who cares? You're talking about the Europeans right
That's
now.
not answering
You
the
wanna drag in
question,
the
though.
Chinese?
Do you think that was created or not, though?
Buddy, just because somebody else is willing to create a disease doesn't mean that somebody else is willing to create one. That's like saying, do you think
Sir.
black people made it then because the Chinese
But
people
I'm just
made
I'm
it?
just
That
trying to
makes
ask
no
you a
sense.
simple question. Do you think it was created or not? Like in your opinion?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
Having a
do,
clue.
yeah, man. Y'all go check out Trey, man. He did his best on him. He did his best. He laid out some great points. He did get cornered when it came to the COVID and in that little square right there. He did get boxed up, but overall, I think he did a good job. He always holds it down. You cannot trust Chat GPT all the time. You have to make sure that you fact check it or you have to make sure you have some kind of natural understanding of the conversation that you're going into with Chat GPT. For them to call COVID a zootonic spillover, Ebola a zootonic spillover, chlamydia and AIDS all to be zootonic spillovers, all that means is zero accountability. At least that we all know syphilis came from Europe, and that's what he was barking on, saying that Africans had that and it was found in bones and whatever. He lied. At the end of the day, y'all go find Trey and the rest of his clips in the description, because I'm gonna put his channel down there. In the meantime, y'all like and subscribe to my channel as well, because I'm always gonna break down these great contexts, and I'm gonna try to give you guys the best answers and feedback that I can. If you have any discretions or anything you want to let me know, put it in the comments. I always read them because the channel is extremely small, so I can read every single comment and comment back. I appreciate y'all for sticking with me through this. I know it was hard, but I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Peace.
You're not here, Mississippi. Suck your mother.